Textbook versus street Thai, why locals couldn't understand my perfect pronunciation. Hey there, fellow language adventurers. Cody here, coming to you from the heart of Bangkok's biggest market. Let me tell you about an eye-opening experience I had right here 6 months ago. I'd been studying Thai diligently from textbooks for years. I had memorized all the vocabulary, mastered the grammar rules, and practiced perfect pronunciation according to my language guides. I felt confident and ready. Then I stepped into this bustling market and tried to have my first real conversation. I carefully formed a sentence, pronouncing each syllable exactly as my books had taught me. To my surprise, the vendor just stared at me with a confused expression. I repeated myself even more carefully. Nothing. A local stepped in, said what sounded like a completely different version of my phrase, and suddenly everyone understood. That's when I realized there are actually two versions of Thai, the formal version in textbooks and the living, breathing language of the streets. Today, I'm going to let you in on the secret code of real spoken Thai, the pronunciation patterns that transformed me from a confused tourist to someone who could actually communicate with locals. This is the essential knowledge that no textbook ever taught me. Think of it like this: it's like studying classical piano for years, memorizing every note perfectly, only to discover that when musicians play in real venues, they add flourishes, drop notes, and play with rhythm in ways your sheet music never showed. That's exactly what happens with Thai pronunciation in everyday life. You're about to discover why certain sounds transform into others, why consonants sometimes vanish into thin air, and why tones can shift depending on which syllable gets stressed. These aren't mistakes, they're the natural rhythm of Thai as it's actually spoken by real people every day. So get ready for a pronunciation adventure that will revolutionize your Thai. Because once you understand these patterns, you'll finally hear the music in the language that's been there all along, and you'll take a giant step from speaking textbook Thai to communicating like a local. Ready to crack the secret code of real Thai pronunciation? Let's dive in. The secret code of Thai speech, how locals really talk. Hey there, language explorers. Cody here. I'm standing in the middle of a bustling Bangkok market, and I've got a confession to make. After studying Thai for years from textbooks, I stepped into this very market and, well, I couldn't understand a thing. The Thai I was hearing sounded nothing like what I'd studied. That's why I realized there's a huge difference between textbook Thai and street Thai. It's like knowing all the notes to a song but missing the rhythm that brings it to life. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on how Thai is actually spoken in everyday life. Think of this as your insider's guide to sounding less like a tourist and more like a local. Ready to crack the secret code of real Thai pronunciation? Let's dive in. The RL switcheroo, winner becomes L. Here's something textbooks don't tell you enough: in casual Thai, that proper R sound often transforms into an L sound. For example, the word for hotel is written as
โรงแรม
but listen to a taxi driver and you'll hear
โรงแรม
instead. Sound like meaning wandering around. It's similar to how in English, we might say wanna instead of want to or gonna instead of going to. It's not wrong, it's just how language flows naturally. Another example, the fancy restaurant.
อาหารไทย
Meaning Thai food often becomes
อาหารไทย
in casual speech. The locals aren't being lazy, they're being efficient. The disappearing act, when consonants go missing. In Thai, when R or L is the second consonant in a syllable, it often vanishes into thin air in everyday speech. The polite particle
ครับ
that men use becomes a simple
กับ
much easier to say rapidly in conversation. The word for fish
ปลา
is often just
ปลา
in fast speech. Think about how English speakers say library instead of library. Same concept. My favorite example.
กรุงเทพ
Bangkok's Thai name often sounds more like
กรุงเทพ
in rapid speech. No wonder foreigners get confused. The sound swap, when KW becomes F. Now this one blew my mind when I first heard it. In some parts of central Thailand, the KW or GW sound magically transforms into an F sound. So,
ขวา
meaning right, as opposed to left, becomes
ฝา
in casual speech. And,
ไม้กวาด
meaning broom becomes
ไม้ฝาด
when spoken casually. Imagine if English speakers started saying fest ion instead of question. That's how surprising this can be. Another example.
ขวัญ
Meaning spirit or morale might sound like
ฝัน
meaning dream in some areas. So if someone tells you they're boosting your fun, they're not talking about your dream, they're lifting your spirits. Formal versus informal, the written identity crisis. Some common Thai words have completely different written forms for formal and informal use. It's like having going to and gonna spelled differently in English. For he or she, the formal written form is
เขา
rising tone, but casually it's written as
เขา
high tone. The word for how, formally written as
อย่างไร
becomes
ยังไง
in casual writing. And the question particle,
ไหม
rising tone transforms to
ไหม
high tone in text messages and informal writing. It reminds me of how English has cannot in formal writing but can't in casual contexts, except in Thai, the entire spelling often changes. The tone shift, when stressed syllables rule. In multi-syllable Thai words, unstressed syllables often lose their proper tones and default to the mid-tone, regardless of what the spelling dictates. The word for comfortable
สบาย
keeps its proper tones because both syllables are stressed. But in
ฝรั่ง
meaning Westerner, the second syllable often shifts to a mid-tone in casual speech instead of its proper rising tone. Similarly,
มะนาว
meaning lime has its syllables smoothed out in everyday talk. It's like how English speakers might say chocolate instead of giving equal stress to all syllables. In Thai, this stress pattern actually changes the musical notes of the word. The vanishing final sounds, word contractions. In some multi-syllable words, the final consonant of the first syllable simply evaporates in casual speech. The word for advertisement
โฆษณา
loses its final T sound in the first syllable,
ศิลปะ
meaning art drops the N sound,
อิสระ
meaning freedom lets go of its T sound. Think of how English speakers say sandwich instead of sandwich or handbag instead of handbag. Thai does the same thing. Vowel variations, the sliding scale of sounds. Thai vowels aren't as fixed as textbooks might have you believe. They often slide between sounds depending on the word and speaker. The short vowel sound in
วัด
meaning temple is pronounced like ah in father. But that same vowel in
ฝัน
meaning teeth sounds more like you in fun. And
ฉัน
meaning I for women is often pronounced chun by many Thai speakers. It's similar to how some English dialects pronounce dance as dance while others say dance with an A like in cat. The flexible E sound, from E to I. The letter
เอ
can sound like E or I depending on the word. In
เก่ง
meaning skilled/expertly. It's pronounced like A and get. But in
เพลง
meaning song. Many speakers use something closer to I as in play. It's like the difference between how Americans and British people might pronounce again, one more like again and the other more like again. The mysterious short I sound. The short vowel length I letter can be either a short I or E depending on the word. In
คิด
meaning to think. It's a short I like in kit. But in,
หิมะ
meaning snow. That same letter produces an E sound. It's comparable to how I sounds different in English words like sit versus machine. Why this matters, the bridge between study and reality. Friends, understanding these pronunciation patterns isn't just about academic knowledge, it's about connection. The first time a Thai person's eyes lit up when I used the casual pronunciation of a word instead of the textbook version, I felt like I'd been given a key to a hidden door. When you grasp how Thai is actually spoken, not just how it's written in textbooks, you transform from a perpetual tourist to someone who belongs. You'll understand why the waiter gives you a confused look when you pronounce every syllable perfectly according to your study materials, but then immediately understands when you relax into the natural rhythm of the language. Your path forward, embracing the music of Thai. Think of Thai pronunciation like learning jazz after studying classical music. The sheet music, textbooks, gives you the foundation, but the magic happens when you learn to improvise and feel the rhythm. So here's my challenge to you, listen more than you speak. Pay attention to how words flow together in natural speech. Record Thai speakers and try to mimic not just their words, but their melody. Practice these casual pronunciations with Thai friends, they'll be delighted that you're making the effort to sound natural rather than formal. Remember that making these pronunciation shifts isn't being incorrect, it's actually the mark of someone who truly understands the language as it lives and breathes. The day I stopped worrying about perfect textbook pronunciation and started embracing how Thai people actually talk was the day my Thai journey truly began. Doors opened, conversations flowed, and suddenly I wasn't just speaking Thai, I was communicating in Thai. So go ahead, let your R's become L's sometimes. Drop a consonant here and there. Let your tones relax on unstressed syllables. That's not speaking Thai incorrectly, that's speaking Thai like a human being instead of a textbook. Your Thai adventure is waiting. Not in the pages of a language guide, but in the streets, markets, and living rooms of Thailand, where the language dances with a rhythm all its own. Happy exploring, language adventurers. Until next time, this is Cody saying Jagan Mai, see you again soon, or as the locals might say it,
เจอกันใหม่
with just a slightly different musical note that makes all the difference. Thai like a local, beyond the textbook. Hey language explorers. Cody here, coming to you from the heart of Bangkok's bustling markets. You know that moment when you study a language for years, then step into a real conversation and nothing makes sense? That's exactly what happened to me with Thai. What I discovered is there's a massive difference between textbook Thai and street Thai. It's like knowing all the musical notes but missing the rhythm that brings the song to life. In today's episode, I'm sharing the secret code of how locals really talk. We'll explore when certain sounds transform or disappear in casual speech, how formal words change completely in everyday conversations, why tones shift when Thai speakers talk naturally, the fascinating ways vowel sounds slide between different pronunciations. Understanding these patterns isn't just academic, it's the key that unlocks real connection. The day I stopped worrying about perfect textbook pronunciation and started speaking like locals do, doors opened everywhere. Think of it like learning jazz after studying classical music. The textbook gives you the foundation, but the magic happens when you learn to feel the rhythm. So here's my challenge, listen more than you speak. Pay attention to how words flow together in natural conversations. Practice with Thai friends, and embrace the living, breathing version of the language. If you're excited to sound less like a tourist and more like a local, make sure to follow our channel. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and join our community of language adventurers. Your journey to authentic Thai is waiting, not in textbooks, but in the streets, markets, and living rooms of Thailand, where the language dances with a rhythm all its own. Until next time, see you soon.